correlation. Correlation means co-relation. Co means two variables. Finding out whether there is relation between two variables is called as correlation. Relation means whether it can be a positive relation or a negative relation. That means if see, let us take an example of price and demand. What we get our topics in our managerial economics like price and demand. How price and demand are related. That means if the price of the product increases, the sales of the products come down. That means the demand for the product comes down. Even for the vegetables also, during the summer, the cost of the onions or the tomatoes goes very high. That means once we in rainy or summer winter season we get tomatoes at 3 rupees kg or 5 rupees kg also, but in the summer it goes up to 40 or 50 rupees kg. Then the demand for the tomatoes also will try to decrease in summer because the cost is very high. That means one is going to affect the another variable. Here we will be always be discussing about two variables, which is called as x variable and y variable. Okay, only two variables. And here x is always called next one y is called as an dependent variable. In your intermediate also, or in your previous semesters like business mathematics or any other subject, you might have seen like equation y is equal to 2x plus 3 or y equal to 5x, y equal to 10x. So what are those called as? So that is a relation between x and y. See, there is equation like x greater than y. That means x is saying that I am greater than y. That means there is some relation between x and y there. What is that relation? It is greater than relation. X is equal to y. X is equal to y means what? X and y both are same. Okay. So what type of relation is there in between two variables, that we are going to find out with the concept of correlation. So here correlation can be of three types, man. What are those? Positive correlation, negative correlation, and the third one is no correlation. First of all, no correlation means what? See, there are some definitions over here, but let us go with a simple statement that, let us take an example that due to the Afghanistan effect today, as on today, the Taliban is going to occupy the complete Afghanistan. Because of that, do we have any price hike in India? Or due to the effect of an earthquake in Japan, do we have any price hike of petrol or any other thing in India? No, right? Let us suppose if
No.
there is an if there is an effect of Saudi, if there is an effect of Saudi on something, that means on like price per barrel, then that is going to affect in India. So that means there is a relation between Saudi and India towards the petrol prices, but there is no relation between Japan's earthquake and price hike of petrol in India. Okay. So next one, positive correlation. Positive correlation means what? If the value of x is increasing, y is also increasing. Okay, then x and y are said to be positively correlated. Or the value of x is decreasing and then y value also will decrease. Then that is called as positive correlation as well. Let's take a small example. I'll just uh, see. See, let's take an example of x and y here. I want to take the values of x as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, at the same time, y values are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. See, in this example, the values of x is increasing, at the same time y is also increasing. That means x and y are traveling in a same direction. Then x and y are said to be positively correlated. If the value of x is increasing, y is also increasing. Then x and y are positively correlated. If x is decreasing, y also decreases. Then that case is called as an again positively correlated. But see, again, let's take an example of same one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now y values. Now it is 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. See, if the value of x is increasing, y is decreasing. That means both are in opposite direction. If the value of x increases, y decreases. Or if the value of y increases, x decreases. If both are in opposite direction, then x and y are said to be negatively correlated. Or the another example, see this. Now y values are, see, x value is increasing, but y values are constant here. That means there is no effect of x on effect of y. Then we say that x and y are not correlated. X and y are not correlated. That means there is no relation. There is no correlation between x and y. See now, the first case which I have told you, if the value of dependent variable increases with the increase in independent variable. Now before this, we have to discuss two variables. X is always a independent variable and y is always a dependent variable. Dependent variable will be always to the left hand side, because we always try to find out the value of dependent variable based on the independent variable. Okay. Now, see, there is an equation y is equal to 2x plus 3. Always we substitute the value of x to find out the value of y. So, y is dependent variable and x is independent variable. Now, the statement is, that means if the value of x increases, y also increases. Then x and y are positively correlated. See here, x is increasing and y is also increasing. Or the second case is x is decreasing, then y also will decrease. So those two cases are called as positive correlation. Now the second one, if the value of x is decreasing, then y is increasing. Now see that there is an opposite direction between x and y. Or x is increasing, then y is decreasing. Again in opposite direction. So x and y are called as negatively related. Okay. Now the third concept, x is increasing or decreasing, but there is no change in y. That means there is no effect of x on y. Then x and y are said to be no correlation. Okay, these are the simple points what we have to remember. Now, correlation is how many types here? There is three types of correlation. First one is positive correlation, second one is negative correlation, the third one is no correlation. No correlation means if there is no effect of one variable on the another variable. Now, next case is that the most important thing that we have to remember in correlation is always our answer of the correlation should be between -1 to +1 only. Let us suppose we were given some values of x and y. They are asking us to find out the correlation between, okay, let us use any different kind of formulas, but finally our answer should be between -1 to +1. If our answer is greater than +1 or less than -1, our calculation is wrong. Okay, it's not that problem is not correct, our calculation is wrong. Okay, now how do we define the relation between x and y variables? Let us suppose there is a problem given to us. We have got some answer. We have got some answer. Now I got an answer like 0.72. I got an answer as 0.72. Now, basing on a value, how we can decide the relation between two variables? Now see here, based on these criteria only we can decide that. Okay, now if r is equal to 0, now that means I have found out the correlation between x and y. After finding out correlation, I got the r value as 0. Then x and y has no correlation. X and y has no correlation. Now next one, if r is greater than 0, then X and Y are positively correlated. That means if you are getting a positive answer like 0.2, 0.3, 0.7, 0.98, 0.99, then we say that X and Y are positively correlated. If R is less than 0, that means minus 0.1, minus 0.3, minus 0.52, whatever the answer you are getting, then we say that X and Y are negatively correlated. If R is equal to plus 1, exactly plus 1, it's not 0.99, it is exactly 1.00, then we say that X and Y are perfectly positively correlated. That means if X value is increased by 1, Y value also will be increased by 1. If X value is increased by 10 values, then Y value is also be increased by 10 values. That means 100% change existing in the variable Y. If there is a change in X variable, then that is called as perfectly positively correlated. If R is equal to minus 1, then we write X and Y are perfectly negatively correlated. See, whatever the problem might be given, these are our answers. These are our answers. That means no correlation, positive correlated, negatively correlated, perfectly positively correlated, or perfectly negatively correlated. Okay. So now, based on these 5 criteria, we are going to find out the answer of correlation. So now we should have some formula to find out correlation, right? See, X values are given. Just now we have written that there are some X values are there and Y values are also there. How do I find out the correlation? We need to have some formula, right? By seeing this equation, you told me that, sir, X values are increasing as well, Y values are also increasing, so it is positively correlated. But sometimes what happens here, see, instead of, see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, instead of 20, this has become 14 in between. It has become 14. That means sometimes, see, from 1 to 2 it is increased, so 5 to 10 it is increased, 2 to 3 it is increased, so 10 to 15 also it is has been increased. But 3 to 4 it is increased, but Y variable 15 to 14 value, one value has been decreased. So all the time we will not get directly values as all increasing values or all the decreasing values. We'll have a combination of values in between. So based on those values, how do we come to a conclusion that either the values are positively correlated or negatively correlated? So to find out that, there are 3 people over here saying that I'll find out the answer for that. That means to find out the correlation, I use my method. So in that way, how many persons are saying that? There are 3 people. The first one who is saying that he is going to use a scatter diagram to find out whether there is a relation between X and Y variables. And the second person is Carl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. And the third one is Spearman's rank correlation. Spearman's rank correlation. These are the 3 methods what we have to find out correlation between 2 variables.